Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is June 5th, and today's episode we've got some Houston updates, we've got news of a new RPL buy party, we are going to be talking about NodeSet and their update, and we're also going to be talking about some price stuff related to inflows BTC. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6.
Okay, so we're going to start here with a post from Langers saying, "Hey everyone, following on from yesterday's announcement, the Houston upgrade proposal has been raised for an oDAO vote. As previously mentioned, it will take 7 days before the oDAO can vote Rocket Pool." So this was actually really great news. So from the 5th, I guess, morning of the 5th Eastern time, we are going to have 7 days. That will take us to the 12th, and then I guess there'll be a few days of voting from oDAO members, and they will get everything done before the 17th. I'm pretty sure that we'll have a quorum on the vote before the 17th, but this is actually really exciting. So congratulations to the team for getting everything done from their side. It's now all in the oDAO's hands. I guess for the next 7 days, the idea is that they'll be checking the contracts and stuff. Supposedly, maybe they just take the team's word for it. And yeah, but this is actually really cool because what's happening here is that we're getting closer and closer to Houston now, and we'll probably get another smart node update probably in the next couple of days, maybe in a week's time or so. And that will then have us all ready for Houston. So Houston's going to come. I'm going to take a minute to talk about things that are going to happen after Houston. I've been kind of hinting at some stuff in trading for a while about what I'm bullish on with Houston, but I've not really made it clear, and I'm not going to make it clear now as well. But I feel like I need to bring some hype back into Rocket Fuel. So Houston has two main things that it allows. The first, of course, is the decentralized voting that is going to move on chain instead of being through Snapshot. This is going to give more power to the pDAO. This is going to take away power from the team having the Guardian wallet. That will be replaced by pDAO on-chain voting, which is huge because we're just going to massively step up the decentralization game. That was one of the big vectors left of centralization for Rocket Pool, and with that breaking down, I think this is going to be really big. So that's one thing. The second thing is that I personally am really looking forward to stake on behalf with ETH now, and a separate RPL withdrawal address. Now, these two things together actually bring some really interesting possibilities forward in terms of marriages. Now, some of us heard rumblings of things at ETH Denver. We were expecting Houston to go live a month ago, basically. But it's not live yet. But at ETH Denver, we were hearing news of some interesting marriages that were potentially on the cards. Like I said, I can't say too much about that because who knows how it's going to work out, if it even does work out. But the possibility of those marriages is really exciting. And that's one of the reasons why I've been accumulating so much RPL. But they're not financial advice. Of course, always make your own decisions. That's totally up to you if you want to buy RPL or not. I'm not telling you to do anything like that of the sort. Don't follow my example. I am a crazy degen person. Yeah, don't listen to me. But I'm very excited about Houston. And then, of course, with Houston, once Houston's live on mainnet, NodeSet can start their audits as well. And with their audits going through, what will happen is that they'll be getting ready to launch, hopefully within a couple of months after, well, hopefully 2 to 3 months after Houston goes live. They'll be able to launch as well, which is really exciting. And then, of course, the tokenomics stuff that we've talked about before happening. So I feel like in this next period, maybe in the next year or so, every 3 to 6 months, we've got some really cool stuff coming along. So it starts now with Houston in June. Then 3 months later, hopefully we'll have NodeSet launching. Then 3 months after that, we'll have the first of the tokenomics changes going live. And then maybe 3 to 6 months after that, we'll have the second set of tokenomics changes going live. So this next year for Rocket Pool, I think, is going to be a really big one. there's some really exciting stuff coming, and I am totally ready for it, and I'm totally here for it. And I'll be making Rocket Fuel every day and sharing the exciting news with you all. But I'm really excited. Like, I know that I say this a lot, but like right now, I feel like Rocket Pool is on the verge of metamorphosis, and like moving from like its old form into a new form. And this whole period is like full of hope and optimism, but not necessarily hype. I'm not hyping anything. Sorry if I am. Like, I know that I've been guilty of hyping things in the past that haven't quite worked out, and I'm definitely at fault for that. But I feel like there's a lot of possibilities here, but I think this time the responsibility is on you, the listener, to go and inform yourself about these things, to find out what's happening in Houston, to find out what's happening with NodeSet, to find out what's happening with the tokenomics upgrades, because there's some really, really cool stuff. So yeah. Now, as I was saying, not financial advice, and I'm not telling you to buy RPL. However, other people are doing a buy party. So if you are interested in purchasing RPL, you will get a POAP for this. So here, Schifrin says there's a new buy party for June 2024. Post your June transaction of buying RPL to receive a POAP. So transactions made from June 1st, midnight on June 1st to Thursday, the June 6th. And that is when the new rewards period starts. All of those transactions are eligible. Anonymous transactions are supported if you send a direct message to Schifrin, and the people who buy the 5 biggest amounts will get their names on the POAP. So that's really cool. And then people started sharing their transactions. Here, the ETH Meister bought 900 RPL, which is really cool. S-Jaws bought a whole bunch of different transactions. Sneaky Ninja Guy bought some for the POAP. I'm buying some for the POAP. The ETH Meister says we're all going to look like, well, I hope we all look like geniuses this time next year. I hope so too. And Estro says either that or complete idiots, nothing in between, which is absolutely right. So yeah, but there's exciting stuff happening. Like I said, away from the price definitely is not exciting, but I think that, there's a lot of good things happening here with Rocket Pool. It's not a protocol that's dead. It's not a community that's dead. It's still full of excitement and vibrancy and developing. Most importantly, things are happening, and people are still building on Rocket Pool. Like NodeSet are building. Ramana, like with his Rocket Lend that he's working on, this is really exciting, and we're expecting some really, really good things to happen. So I'm going to, if you want to join the buy party, then buy some RPL. There's no minimum amount, and you can share the transaction publicly or privately with Schifrin to be eligible for that POAP. Okay, next we've got news of a client update, and this one is from Geth. So from those of you who watch Rocket Fuel, you know that a few weeks ago I covered some tweets from Peter Silledy, and he was saying that the new versions of Geth are going to be even better and faster and stronger, and we're starting to see that now. So this is Geth version 1.14.4, and it says 1.14.4 is a usual maintenance release, but it does ship a 5 to 7% block import speed improvement. Furthermore, 1.14.4 also finally includes an Ether supply live tracer that you can enable via, and then there's some code. Just please note the default value for minor tip enforcement was dropped from 1 GUI to 0.001 GUI. Block producers can change this via minor.gas price. So this is Geth just pushing the limits on the work that they're doing. I'm not sure how much of a change this is going to have for the day-to-day users of Geth, but Geth are doing some really cool stuff. Like, Geth is a wonderful product, a great client. You'll never hear me say a bad thing about Geth. The only reason why we've been telling people to get off Geth for so long is because of their significant supermajority for a while, and thankfully even that now has gone down to the point where we're not complaining about it anymore. It's down to 55%, which is wonderful. Of course, we want it to be lower than that. We want it to be lower than 33%. So I'm not going to say, hey, go get onto Geth now. So there's still that going. But if you are on Geth, maybe we don't have to be so mean and insult you so much, which is something that I would like to do in the past. But yeah, it was all fun. Yeah, like, it was never serious, but well, it was serious, but mostly it was serious for the big node operators, like the Lido teams and other like huge staking entities like Coinbase and etc. For the normal user, it was never that big a deal, except for the fact that there was a supermajority risk. Now that we're not at the supermajority risk, the pressure is a little bit lower, but we really do want to get down below that 33% mark for Geth. Get Nethermind, get Bisu, get Reth or Aragon. Reth hopefully should be production ready. I know some people are already using it, but hopefully those numbers will look much more like the consensus client numbers. And their Prism is tiny bit high still. Ideally, some people can go to Teku or Nimbus, maybe even Lodestar to get those numbers down below 33%. But this is looking much healthier than it was a few months ago. Okay, so earlier I was talking about the changes that are coming to Rocket Pool. Well, on today's episode of the Daily Gwei, Anthony Sassano had a really nice update talking about Rocket Pool tokenomics. It was here in the episode where he talked about right here, Rocket Pool tokenomics at the like 1 minute 20-second mark. He shared Jasper's tweet where Jasper was talking about tokenomics changes in response to some of the criticism that that Rocket Pool and the RPL price specifically had gotten on ETH Finance a couple of days ago. So it was nice that Anthony kind of gave a shout out to the tokenomics changes. But I think people are slowly starting to realize that Rocket Pool is undergoing this huge metamorphosis. Sadly, not enough people know that yet. Well, maybe not sadly, because the idea is, of course, there's a information asymmetry, and now's like when there's information asymmetry present in the market, those are interesting opportunities basically for outperforming the market. Like that, of course, as always, that is not financial advice, but we are privileged to some information here by being so close to the bone on like Rocket Pool, like daily actions and like procedure, that I think there's a chance here that we have learned a piece of information that others just don't know yet. And hopefully, there's no guarantee of this, obviously, but if things work out well with first Houston and those, if there are good whale marriages happening after that with NodeSet, if they get a good amount of ETH and RPL deposited, and then after that, of course, with the tokenomics changes, if we really see a boom in node operator ETH and our ETH demand, there's a possibility here that we can have a really good year ahead. And that is like the not like information asymmetry that I was just mentioning, but it's something definitely worth keeping an eye on and seeing how things go. But like slowly in the next few months, I think we're going to see more of this. Is the word is going to start getting out and permeating through other communities, like through onto crypto Twitter, on ETH Finance, and then like they're not representative of the wider crypto world. Like there's many more people who aren't in ETH Finance or on crypto Twitter, but slowly like word will get to those people as well that Rocket Pool's undergoing some really cool stuff. And of course, always, as is always the case, there's nothing like price action to get attention. Once you start seeing like positive price action, that's where you really get attention, and then it will really permeate into wider communities. So the fact that Anthony Sassano is giving these shoutouts is absolutely wonderful. Jasper's writing tweets. I'm putting comments on ETH Finance and on Twitter as well. And like I said, I'm going to do like an explainer post and tweet thread about Houston. That should go out next week as well. So yeah, we're going to get the word out, and we're going to try to make Rocket Pool as wonderful as it can be. Okay, so talking about other staking news now, and I just mentioned NodeSet. Well, we've got an update from NodeSet here about their Hyperdrive product. Now, Hyperdrive, their product is not Constellation. Constellation is their product that will be integrating with Rocket Pool. Hyperdrive is their product that they're integrating with Stakewise. Sorry. So here there's a post saying, attention node operators, the next beta release for Hyperdrive, that's 0.5.0-B1, so that beta 2 is available and contains important fixes addressing feedback so far. Operators may skip this version as there are known issues. See below. So we're going to talk about that in a second. It says the full patch notes are attached, but the most important updates are various dependency and clients updates. MEV boost is now supported. Support for the new NodeSet authentication system only applies to new node registrants. See here for more details. And most users can simply copy this command to update, and then there's a command, and see the docs for more information on updating Hyperdrive. And once you finish updating, remember to run Hyperdrive service config to ensure the new configuration is applied. With this release, you cannot simply start the service again because there are required configuration changes. If you notice any issues, please make an issue on the GitHub repository. So if we have a look at the GitHub repository here, this is actually an update from Joe, who's working with them kind of. The last information we got that he was working with NodeSet 1 day a week. I'm not sure how that is carrying on, but here Joe says that MEV boost is updated. There's known issues. Reth is incompatible with the Stakewise operator container. Clients have been updated to Bisu, Nimbus, Grafana, Prometheus, and Node Explorer. So Bisu and Nimbus, of course, are clients, and then Grafana and Prometheus let you have the dashboards, and Node Exporter, sorry, I guess I'm not sure exactly what that does. And then there's some service updates as well, and you can see, however, like Wanda said, there were some issues with this update. So here the issues is that it appears there's an issue with this release which didn't show up in our testing. Users will have to re-register their node address in Hyperdrive every time they restart the service. This is not intended, but you should be able to simply re-register again, and they will not break anything. We will fix this with a patch release soon. It says we're seeing issues with MEV boost for Lighthouse. Please don't use the new MEV boost with Lighthouse until we've released fixed. So they're still figuring out their update cycles. There's still some issues, but the fact that they're working on this is actually really cool. So keep up the good work, NodeSet team. I'm really excited to see what comes next from them. Okay, we got this article from Swell. So remember, this is like staking news. So Swell put out this post about the road to decentralized governance. And basically that means that their token is in sight. So currently they're on their voyage, and the voyage is their name for, like gathering tokens and stuff, or the points, I guess. I think they're called pearls in the Swell land. Anyway, Swell City, is the culmination of their voyage, which is in sight now. So they're just saying that the token will be here soon, and the token will have multiple purposes. It will govern the Swell protocol, secure the Swell L2, and also be used in their AVS, which is that eigen layer integration. And they're saying that they're going to give 8% of the token to the community. So to help promote a healthy token distribution, Swell tokens earned through the voyage, 8% of total supply, will be allocated primarily to linearly with the number of tokens received depending on the number of pearls held. So they're going to give some bonuses to people who've been there for a while, but otherwise the more pearls you have, the more tokens you'll get. And then they're talking about how they're going to set up their DAO and stuff. So the reason why I'm covering this is because there's this idea, right, that LRTs have sucked up a whole lot of liquidity, and the reason why people are in LRTs is for the outsized gains, because of token incentives, etc. And as you get the tokens, there's this idea that people will airdrop farm, and when the airdrop farm dries up, then people will be moving on to better LSTs or LRTs. I don't know how much of that is co-op, as I've said before, and how much of that is legitimate, figuring out the game scenarios of how people are gaming the situation. It just makes sense that those 50, 60, 70% APRs obviously are going to go away, and then at that point, what will people want, right? Will they want these centralized LSTs, LRTs, or will they prefer more decentralized, robust systems like Rocket Pool? And obviously the hope is that a lot of this ETH that is locked up in these services will flow back to Rocket Pool. It's going to be really interesting to see how that works. Okay, so Christine Kim, this is Ethereum news now. Christine Kim had some information, an article she wrote about who governs Ethereum, who decides what to change about the Ethereum protocol and when. In this report, she said that she explains the processes and institutions involved in governance, also presents 7 case studies for understanding how the Ethereum governance works. So here is the article if you're interested in reading it. Some of the news, some of the ideas are linked to staking, but not directly to stakers, but staking as a whole. And that's why I figured that it'd be interesting to cover this because we technically as stakers are a part of Ethereum governance. We're the ones who update to the right clients before the hard fork to make sure we're on the right chain. And if we don't want to be on one of those chains, we could technically fork the chain. So we do get a say on how this works. If you want to learn about how the whole system works, definitely read this article. People have given it a lot of good feedback. I've not been able to read it all yet, but I thought I'd give it a shout out just if you guys want to read it. And I'm going to finish today's episode with some bullish news, basically. So here, Eric Balkunas said that Fidelity is not messing around. Big time flows all around for the Big 10. Nearly $1 billion in total flows into the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. So this was the second best day ever since mid-March. $3.3 billion has been coming into the ETFs in the last 4 weeks. And the net year to date is $15 billion, which is at the top end of our 12-month estimate. So the third wave is turning into a tidal wave. So it's looking like the Bitcoin ETF is going forward really strongly. There's an idea, of course, that as the ETH ETF gets approved, then ETH will start seeing flows, and then the idea, of course, is that the ETH beta tokens will start seeing some flows as well. Thankfully, it looks like ETH ETF going live coincides with changes happening with Rocket Pool. Hopefully, that will be a good catalyst for Rocket Pool adoption and more positive sentiment around Rocket Pool. But the reason why I'm covering this, of course, is because Bitcoin, money coming into crypto tends to kind of flow down the stack, and maybe it'll be Rocket Pool's turn soon to get some of that money. Anyway, thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you all had a lovely day yesterday and another great day ahead for you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.